Hi. So, as you can see, I've got my sauna hat on. Had a good holiday in Finland, and uh, just to say, had a lot of problems with those little videos that you just saw with the microphone on the phone. So I just thought I'd run through the things that I found there. The one that you did see was this one, and this guy is a very famous guy. Matti Loiri. He is on a lot of comedy shows in Finland and entertainment sort of guy of many years. This guy, I think, is a poet, Eino Leino. I think that's how you say it. And you saw this album, I think, in the video already, but as you can see, it was actually quite dished, but it actually plays really well. My record player can cope with it, so no problems there, and I listened to it and I liked it. I have another album by him here, which is a little bit more jazzy. This I got from record shop in Yaki, and it has some tracks which has the text from this Khalil Gibran, which I think was sort of a Middle Eastern poet, mystic sort of person some time ago, 100 years ago maybe, was it? I'm not sure, 150 years ago. And I haven't listened to this one yet, but as you can see, it's 1980s, but it's still actually sealed. And that was quite a good price. Was that €5? Yeah. Then some of the finds from the Kiovatori, the second-hand markets that I've got here. This is a replacement copy for one that I've got already. It's a Swedish album with sort of ambient jazz sort of music. I think the cover gives quite a good representation of what it sounds like, really. You can see there, it says, what does it say? 2 Regula. I actually thought that when I had my original copy, somebody had actually written on it, but now I know that they've all got it on there. So that was €3. I've got a Larry Norman, slightly bootleg, sort of, well, not bootleg, but independent sort of private pressing release with some of his live stuff. It says here, commemorates the wild and woolly tour of Larry Norman across America and Canada. Contains 10 songs from a 3-hour concert, exactly reproduced as the audience heard it, with no studio overdub. So I listened to a little bit of it, and it does go up and down the sound a bit, but it's got all of his greatest hits on there, or most well-known songs. I've got an album here which was pretty good, and I've heard of Breakout, and I have a couple of albums by them. They're Polish. This is another band from Poland called Exodus. It's, I guess you could say it's prog psych sort of thing. Yeah, that was only €5. That was quite a good find. It's a little bit thinner vinyl, but it sounds okay. Somehow I managed to get some random someone else's inner sleeve in one of these records. I don't know what happened there. Certainly didn't steal it or anything anyway. Scaffold Pike is a sort of a folky band from England, I think, but I guess it was in Finland because of the sort of the Swedish connection, and I think they recorded some of the stuff in Sweden. This is from 1974. It's on a yellow Epic label, I think. Yeah. And that was only €1, so I can't really complain about that, really. That was a good find. Some sort of traditional English folk songs. Yeah, that's pretty good. So that was that flea market that I went to. And the other one that I went to, which was, by now we were very near Helsinki, I found some rather bizarre albums, it has to be said. Here's one. It's a song apparently about teaching children to eat their fruit, particularly carrots and vegetables. I suppose you could say educational. Slightly disturbing cover, it has to be said. These were all like 50 cents or €1. They didn't cost very much. This is a sort of a compilation of Finnish 70s pop hits. I'm not sure I can remember who's who now. This is Erwin Goodman. Let me see. This one is that's Frederick. This guy here with the moustache is Freddie. This here is Matti and Tapio or Tepio. I can't remember now. Well, anyway, Teppo is his name. So that's a compilation. Some of them are sort of like cover versions of well-known songs with Finnish lyrics. Like there's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, but they're not like literal translations. And there's one of the song The End of the World, and there's also Your Mama Don't Dance as well. Messina Loggins written. Yeah. Don't know who this is, it's just looked interesting, sort of modern classical opera. Okay. Some Erliss Finnish rap. This is another rather disturbing looking cover of a children's album here. I'm not sure, it's something about songs in school, I think. Yeah. I often get sort of Russian albums turning up in Finland as well. I could almost say as well as submarines, but anyway. So here's somebody called Solomon Kromchenko, Jewish folk songs. And a Swedish album, which I'm sorry to say this is just such bad condition you can't really play it, but it's quite interesting, sort of some choral music mixed in with some sort of jazz sort of stuff. And lastly, I went to this shop, which is record shop Axe, Levykauppa Axe went to one in Kallio, which is in the middle of Helsinki, and I bought this, some sort of avant-garde metal noises. I'm not sure what they are. Goat's heads or something. Usually would be goat's heads on this sort of thing. I can't even read what that says there, but it's pretty noisy stuff. It was only €3, and the guy explained in the shop that often in Finland, or much like any country, you get loads of stuff that everybody has because they printed so much of it off. So maybe in other countries this might actually be worth something. I don't know. Got a Tony Allen album, African beats. Tony Allen, he's a percussionist, and he was in this band, The Good, the Bad and the Queen, which also had Paul Simeon, I think, from The Clash, and Damon Albarn from Blur. And he's also collaborated a lot with this Finnish artist who is called what's his name? Jimmy Tenor. That's not his real name, but that's his sort of like stage name, I suppose. So this is Lagos. Now, where is Lagos? I can't quite remember. It's in West Africa, anyway. So most Tony Allen you can't go wrong with. Last few albums, I've got a free Christmas compilation of songs. I've got some folk music from Finland with some nice pictures on the cover for €1. And lastly, another folk this sort of album. You look at that cover and you think, well, for €1, it's got to be interesting by the instruments they're playing, and it is. I think they're like sort of another sort of interpreted from Russian into Finnish. Maybe the tunes are the same, but the words have been changed. Yeah, standing by a nice lake there. So that's it for this particular video, and I will be back soon. Not quite sure when. But thanks for watching. So thank you. Kiitos. Thank you.